Hey, it's Jason Creel. Let me give you an example that maybe will help you understand a little bit of the strategy behind lawn care marketing. Okay, so I like to fish. I don't fish a whole lot, but I do enjoy it. And so when it comes to lawn care marketing, I'm going to make a connection with fishing that might help you understand it even if you're not a big fisherman. Okay, so stay with me just a minute. I think there are just a number of factors that determine the success of your lawn care marketing, just like in fishing. So, for example, let's say we're fishing and you've got this unbelievably great pond to fish in that you know is loaded with fish, big fish, and that sort of thing. But the problem is everybody else knows about how great that pond is too. Okay, so when you go to this pond, let's say it's a 5-acre pond, you know, and it's just, but you go there and it's got 30 boats already there, okay, or 30 people around the bank fishing, whatever. So yes, and it not only gets fished today with 30 boats, it's regularly fished over and over. And so the point is the fish become smarter and they don't take the bait as easily. Okay, so what does that have to do with lawn care marketing? Sometimes we, as lawn care business owners, we find the perfect neighborhood that we think this is the ideal neighborhood for a lawn care business. Just simple yards. I could cut these yards so fast and charge this price and make this much money if I had, you know, look how many houses there are, how many fish, how many potential customers. But the problem is that everybody else thinks it's the perfect neighborhood too. And in the springtime, that particular neighborhood, or pond if you will, is getting 10 door hangers on each door, okay? And the fish become smarter and they don't take the bait. So what happens in a great pond like that that's just loaded with fish, but it's overfished, the fish become smarter, they only bite on the best baits. Okay, and this really happens in fishing. I mean, when the fish become smarter, it's like the best fishermen still know how to catch them, but if you're just an average angler, you know, you might not catch anything. So you've got to up your game a little bit. I mean, you tying putting a flyer out there and putting a clothes hanger pin and just throwing them out in the driveway is probably not going to catch you a lot of fish. I mean, these people have seen every door hanger, postcard, any kind of advertisement you can think of. They've gotten the frisbees in their yard, business cards taped on their mailbox, whatever. They've seen it all. And to be honest with you, that some of them are just tired of it. They could recognize an ad, you know, just like a fish can recognize a fake lure from a real one. So you have to really set yourself apart. Well, now, what if there was a pretty good pond, okay, not as good as that pond, a pretty good pond that still had a lot of fish, okay, but not quite as many fishermen. Well, maybe in that situation, and this is sort of hypothetical, I don't know this, but it's a theory I have, you might catch more fish in that pond using the same exact bait that would not catch fish in the great pond that has so many people competing for it. You might catch fish in this pretty good pond that doesn't have quite as much competition. Now let's go one step further. Let's say you're in a terrible pond, there's just very few fish there, meaning perhaps a lower income area where, you know, people just are not necessarily looking to hire a lawn care company. It doesn't matter how great your bait is or what a great fisherman you are. If there's no fish there to be caught, you're not going to catch them. Okay, so don't even try. I mean, it's like you can't catch a fish there. So some of you, if that's the area you're in, you've got the deck stacked against you. I mean, you may have to drive and find a little bit higher income areas to where you can find some customers. So, you know, do you want to stay in that perfect neighborhood that's overly fished, okay? And if you find the perfect neighborhood that people are not fishing in, you're doing great. I mean, because you know, I don't know that I've ever had, I've gotten close to that one time and I messed it up. It was when I first started, and I was basically fishing with the wrong bait, and I was trying to oversell and sell them all these extra services and all this as a one package deal, and I screwed it up. You know, I had people I felt were genuinely interested, but anyway, I don't think I've found a neighborhood that good since, so my mistake. But I do think you can find that pretty good neighborhood that may have less competition. Maybe that means you have to drive a little further. You know, sometimes in these big bass tournaments, I'll see, you know, these professional guys, okay, they're fishing for thousands and, you know, tens of thousands of dollars, whatever, all the sponsorships. And the day of the tournament, they will get out there and they will drive for an hour and a half, 2 hours, you know, how many ever miles, 70 miles an hour, to go find where they think the fish are. Now, I understand in the lawn care business, it's like sometimes you want a tight window, okay? I understand that. And this, I'm really speaking to people that are trying to really grow their business. I mean, if you're just saying, hey, I only want, you know, 20 yards and I just want them close to my house, then, you know, then albeit, don't, you know, basically don't listen to what I'm saying. You can fish close to your house, get your 20 customers. But if you're trying to grow and grow and grow and grow, it doesn't mean you can't fish, you know, near your home. But sometimes if you'll go a little further out where there's a little less competition, not quite as many people fishing, that same bait that you've been using that wasn't working will start catching some fish over there. Why? The fish hadn't seen it before. There's not as many people. Instead of these customers getting 10 door hangers on their door each spring, they might get one every other spring. Okay, there's not near as many competitors and not near as many fishermen, and the ones who are fishing probably are not as good. Okay, so now what do I want to drive 30 minutes away to go get one fish, you know, one customer? No, not really. But if I knew that I could go 30 minutes away to a small town or whatever, and there were some new neighborhoods, middle upper class families that have a desire, you know, for lawn care service, but these neighborhoods are not being fished, not a lot of marketing going on, then yeah, it's worth me going over there. If I can get 10, 15, 20 yards over there, maybe that takes me a year, 2 years, whatever. It's definitely worth me going over there, you know. So anyway, just something to think about. Maybe I hope you didn't get lost all the fishing, lawn care, back and forth, whatever. But it is something to think about. You know, how can we strategize? Because it's not always that your bait is wrong. Okay, you might be fishing in an overcrowded pond, or you might be fishing in a pond that doesn't have any fish in it. Or maybe you're fishing in a great pond, but your bait is wrong. You know, you're using lousy bait, okay? You're throwing a flyer out there with a clothespin attached to it. Maybe if you do that 10,000 times, you get a few bites, you know, but if you had a better bait, you might start catching more fish. So, hey, thanks for watching the video. I wanted to make you aware of something that I have been spending a lot of time on and have completed, and there's a link in the description of the video, but it is the Lawn Business Master Course. What this comprises of is about 50 videos that are not found on YouTube, as well as me being available as a personal coach, a business coach for your lawn care business, as well as my letter package, which contains marketing materials, contracts, that sort of thing. So I put all of this together in a package, and you can check it out by the link in the description. Thanks.